Greetings and welcome to the Fuck Dump Podcast, episode 13, where the Void has still refused to give me soup and medicine for my encroaching illness. What's that you say? I missed an upload yesterday? Well, shove it up your ass. I'm still sick and I really don't give a fuck. Yeah, coughs are still coming. It makes it difficult to sleep at night. So get off my ass. I don't care. It's been a very interesting weekend for me. I don't know, the routine's been different. The most notable thing that happened was I acquired a new PlayStation 4 because the one I have is just absolute shit. And it came with PSVR, courtesy of my boy. I'll just call him CF. He's a good guy. He sold it to me for a decent amount of money considering what I got in the package. And I'm pretty fucking jammed about it because I've been wanting to use VR for the longest time. And since I'm too poor to buy an HTC Vive or an Oculus Rift, I'll settle for this for now. If I wanted to hook up to my PC, I guess I'd have to jump through some fucking hardware and software hoops. But you know, if I want to do it, I'll fucking do it. It's what a lot of things in my life, including this fucking podcast. So here we are, episode 13, and I've only missed one day. So expect a second upload coming today, or whenever. It's not going to matter in the long run. I don't know why I bother trying to, what is it? Chronological? Whatever. I don't, chronicling? Whatever. I don't know why I bother trying to put time into this, because if I'm still doing this in a year or so, it's not going to really fucking matter when I upload, is it? Because if anyone's going to binge listen to it, it's irrelevant at this point. I'm back to once a day uploads, excluding these two that are going up, because my friend backed out of the race to be the best podcaster. He does not want to do a reactionary podcast to my podcast because he is intimidated by my strength. Also because he doesn't feel like it's worth the energy. So I win. I'm the best podcaster, so he can shove it up his butt, and I know he'll listen to this eventually. So if you're listening to this, T.O., lick my balls. I'm your sponsor. Go talk about me. I talked about TikTok a lot recently, and you know what? I actually went out and I did it. I made some TikToks, and I tell ya, it's fun as fuck. I'm having a good old time. The content I'm making is not very original by TikTok standards. I'm pretty much just going with the flow, catching some trends. It's fun. I'm not very original a lot of the times. So I'll see where my life takes me, TikTok wise. It's just fun. It gives me an excuse to put my creative energy in video making towards a very quick, snappy, attention grabbing platform. So it's good to have that outlet. See, I can sit down and record. I can bust out podcasts like it's nobody's business here. And if I get a bug up my ass about making a video, I'll just hop on TikTok, make something real quick, and then it'll be done with it. Because Vine shut down, and to me, this is pretty much my new Vine. So I'm living for it. I'm living for those ironic TikTok meme compilations. I'm gonna take a sip of water, like a comedian, even though I'm nowhere close to being a professional comedian. That's something I always wanted to do, is be a comedian. The closest I ever came to doing that was a talent show when I was, oh God, how old was I? I think I was, God, I had to be 16, 17. It was for this production at our school. It wasn't a talent show. It was a Big Man on Campus type deal. And I decided to try doing, no, did I try doing stand-up? I honestly can't remember at this point. I know it was really, really, really bad when I tried doing stand-up. I could do it now, I think. Now that I've had more life experiences, I know how to work the crowd. But fuck. Other times, I've always had a love for stand-up comedy and what comedians do. And I've always wanted to be a writer. I'd love to take some writing classes. Because, if my dream wasn't always to be an actor, it was to be a story builder and a writer and stuff like that. And I don't know, that'd be cool and fucking shit. So I like that a lot. And besides acting, what I've always done for talent shows is I'd ham bone. I guess a skill. It's not really talent. I don't. The line between skill and talent is so blurred. But I learned how to ham bone. And if you don't know what ham boning is, it's the thing that SpongeBob and Patrick do in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, where they're like, where they're fucking slapping each other when the big gigantic sea monsters are holding them, and they're like, hooray! Now that they're men, they have facial hair. Now that they're men, he changed his underwear. Now that they're men, they've got a manly flair. That's all I got. So yeah, I don't know how that skill came about, but I just end up being able to do it. And I can clap it. I can clap the slap clap. I can slap clap clap like Bolby on Jimmy Neutron. So maybe that's what finally got me my girlfriend. She just realized that my hand boning skills were so good that she couldn't let anybody else have me for fear that she would not find any superior hand boning skills. Besides the master of hand boning, whose name I have not bothered to remember, but he is a great man, and he looks like Santa Claus. So I want to run my fingers through those big old bushy beards, and I want him to hand bone on my balls. So I put the NSFW tag for a reason. I'm not going to bother saying at the beginning because you should know what you're getting into. It's called the Fuck Dump Podcast. If you've made it this far into the Fuck Dump Podcast without realizing that it's not suitable for work, that's all I got. You should know by now. I keep complaining about how I should have a guest, and I don't know how I'd incorporate that. I don't know how people do it online. Like, do they do it via Skype? Because I don't know how the recording works. Am I going to have to ask the other person to install Audacity and record their audio? Or I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'd have to look it up and see. But I'd love to get some of my online friends as guests on the show. Would I then edit those episodes? I really hope not to. We could just do one continuous thing, but if there was technical difficulties, I don't know. Maybe I'd do some light edits just to get that shit out of the way. But who fucking knows? If I can get any guests on the show of any importance, that would be just insane to me. Because right now, what I'm doing feels akin to a guy doing a conspiracy theory podcast in his dorm room in college, and just talking, hoping anybody's listening. I'm getting to the point where I don't really give a fuck when anyone's listening. I didn't get any listens or view counts, whatever, over the weekend when I didn't post, and that's kind of okay. This is a cathartic experience for me just to be able to talk. It's kind of like a diary. Things aren't as super terrible as they were over the last few days. I'm feeling a little better, I guess. Got a lot of ideas brewing up in here. If my girlfriend's listening to this episode right now, I had an idea for a podcast where we sit down and we discuss horror movies and things of the like, because she's kind of into that stuff, and I like to be more into that stuff, and if that's something she's into, I'd love to be into that as well. And that sounds like a fun thing. We can make it all spooky and shit. If she's not my girlfriend by the time you're listening to this, or if I'm re-listening to this, I think it would still be a cool idea to do a podcast like that, especially with her, because she's always been that kind of stuff, and I've always admired her, relationship or not, before we were dating. I've always admired her for her spooky qualities, and that's kind of what drove me to her. So that'd be kind of cool, like a horror themed podcast where we sit down and discuss horror movies and maybe horror TV shows. That's it. I don't know, I'm not sure if it was my love of podcasts that made me make podcasts, or if it was my incessant need for fame and admiration by my peers that made me want to make a podcast. Because podcasts, I'm not sure if they've hit their stride and they're starting to go down, or if podcasts are really starting to take off. I don't know if I've hit that gray area as well, but maybe it'll take off. Who knows? I'm probably gonna get back into gaming. No streaming though, because my internet is absolute horseshit. And if I ever streamed, I'd have to do it if nobody was home or if they were asleep. So, yeah, maybe I'll start streaming again soon or something. I don't know. The last time I streamed myself building my gerbils, their little houses, and they've absolutely eaten them to shreds, and they're falling over every couple bits. Oh, look at my little baby. Look at him go. Look at him tap on the glass. Good boy. So yeah, back in the podcast. I'm not gonna apologize for missing a day because in the long scheme of things, who gives a shit? We're all gonna die anyways. So this has been the Fuck Dump Podcast, episode 13. Your homework for today is to go buy a Napa cabbage and just shove it up your ass.